Hello, welcome. So, today, as the first chapter, we are going to start with data and uncertainty. Let's simplify something today because at first it might look complex, but once you see the pattern, it becomes surprisingly intuitive. It is data. Most people think data is just rows and columns in Excel. But in real life, data is actually evidence about the world. And here is where things get tricky. The world itself is not perfectly predictable, right? So think about this. If I ask you questions like this, will it rain tomorrow? Will a customer buy your product? Will a patient recover quickly? For these questions, you won't be knowing the answers exactly. And that is the real reason statistics exist. Not to calculate numbers, but to make decisions under uncertainty. So, to simplify it more, imagine you are running a small chai stall in Mumbai. So, I'll just run the notebook and you'll see the data. So, let's assume you are running a small chai stall. Okay. Every day the customers will come, but not the same number, right? Someday it will be 50, someday it will be 20, on peak day it will be 120. Now you tell me, can you predict exactly how many customers will come tomorrow? No. But can you estimate a range? Yes. So from certainty, you will be shifting to probability. And this is where data science begins. Most beginners don't notice this at first. Data is a record of variation in the real world. Like you have seen here, the customer variation. This is how the real world data is in every aspect. For example, temperature changes. Every day you will see the shift in temperature. Customer behavior, that also changes. Stock prices, they fluctuate. So if everything were constant, we wouldn't even need data. But as there is variation, we need data. So remember, very key aspect of this is if you don't have variation, then you don't need data science. Now we will move to the second concept, which is deterministic versus uncertain world. Now let me break this clearly. What is deterministic world? If I give you same input and I get same output, example, you say 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. It is always going to be 4, right? So if I run this notebook, I have created a function which is a deterministic, and you will see that for the range I have passed, I am getting the output. Every time I'll be getting the same output. 100 times if I'll run this row, I'll be getting the same output. The second cell will show us what is uncertainty. If I'll give you same input, but I will have different outcomes. For example, I will show 100 users the same ad. Every user will behave differently. So there will be categories of behavior. Every time I will not get the same response from every customer, right? User. So you see this. Here you can see we have given the same input. Now we have got this graph. If I'll run it again, you may get something different, right? We are getting different things. So that is uncertainty. That is our real world. So in real projects, almost everything is uncertain. And this is where many beginners struggle. They try to apply certainty thinking to this uncertain world. Now let's see why statistics exists. Now let's simplify this. Statistics is not just about formula. It is about answering. If given this uncertainty, what is my best decision? So we don't ask what will happen. We ask what is likely to happen. How confident am I about this event? And this is a very different mindset. In real business, a company never asks, will this feature succeed? Instead, they ask what percent of user might adopt this feature? What is the risk of the failure? What is the expected impact? So see, what is this questions about? They're about the probabilities, right? We will see here in this notebook. So if Netflix is recommending a movie, or Amazon is predicting your purchase, or banks are detecting any fraud, none of these are certain. They have a probability against that particular decision. So they are probabilistic decisions. Now I'll give you some key points to remember which will help you to think like a data scientist. If the world were perfectly predictable, do you think we would have been in need of AI? No, absolutely not. And second and most important insight I want to give you is data science was never about predicting the future and is not about predicting the future. It is what? It is about reducing uncertainty enough to act. Remember, it is about reducing uncertainty enough to act. Now, as a beginners, most common mistakes which are done as we think data as Excel sheets. We expect exact answers from that data. We completely ignore the concept of variability. We never question uncertainty. But in real problem or in real projects, this doesn't work. So the biggest mistake which a beginner data scientist makes is being overconfident in predictions. Never be overconfident in predictions. Now, I'll give you one thinking exercise. Ask yourself, what can I not know exactly? Think about tomorrow and just say, what are the things that I don't know exactly? You may think, what will be your uh, Uber fare? That you don't know what it will be exactly. You know the range, but you don't know the exact fare. Similar, you find out similar conditions. You find out and mention it. Now, think when you have the list. Think this way: can I estimate instead for those particular scenarios? Like I have given you Uber fare, right? I don't know what will be my exact fare for tomorrow's travel, but I know the range. I can estimate it will be between 150 to 200 because that is the range I know. Or I can be more narrowed down, 170 to 200, that way. Now that is statistics and that is statistical thinking. So remember this one thing: data science starts the moment certainty ends. Okay? And if this made things a little clearer, I would love for you to continue the journey with me. And the resources are like this notebook I'm attaching in the description. And if you would like to explore them yourself or do changes, please feel free to download and do it. Okay, thank you very much.